Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was just getting ready to paint my house when I noticed that there was dry rot on the siding, and so that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to show you how to repair this. So if you like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So this is the dry rot right here. It's dry rot is a fungus, so if you don't treat this, this is actually going to spread. If you don't actually repair this, it's going to spread. Yeah, it's just totally eating this plywood here. To get started, I had to know exactly how much of the siding had rotted, and so therefore I removed the trim at the corner of the wall. So if you look at this panel more carefully, you'll notice that this actually separates from, this is actually two different panels. It's got the one panel with the dry rot and one that looks pretty good. And so there's two options here. You could replace this entire panel, or we can just replace a rectangle or a piece from this and then see how that looks. So I think replacing the panel will probably look better, but I think the easier route is just replacing a piece from this. So I'm going to try that first, see how that looks. If it doesn't look good, we'll just replace the entire thing. To cut out the dry rot, I'll be using this oscillating saw. This is an absolute lifesaver for this project. It cost me around 18 bucks at Harbor Freight, and I'll be using this wood cutting attachment that I bought at Harbor Freight as well. It has measurements on the side of it, so you know exactly how deep you're cutting. After that, I used a Sharpie to mark off the rectangular piece that I would be cutting out. Then I use the oscillating tool to cut out the piece. If you take your time, it is possible to be really precise with this tool. To help remove the siding, I did pull some of the nails, but a good chunk of it had already rotted, so it just came out by just pulling on it. Okay, it's time to cut the new siding. That is after measuring, of course. If you don't have a table saw, you can use a similar setup to what I did to ensure a straight cut. I just put the new siding onto two folding tables and used a straight piece of lumber that I clamped down to the siding as a fence. So this will essentially make sure that the cut is straight. Before you attach the new piece, you will notice that the old piece of siding has become loose on the bottom because there's nothing there anymore to secure it into place. Therefore, I used nails to secure the bottom of the old piece of siding before proceeding to the next step. The siding is designed in a way that it fits onto the next piece. So make sure you orient this the right way. The extended edge of the new piece should overlap the edge of the old piece. After making sure that that's what was going on, the dry fit itself looks pretty good. Then I use nails to hammer her home. Next, I install the new trim piece. Then I sealed up all the gaps between the two boards and between the trim piece and the boards with this paintable acrylic caulk I picked up at Home Depot for a few bucks. It looks like when it's all done, I've put caulk in all the gaps, and I'm actually fairly pleased about how it turned out. And so this is essentially how I was able to replace or repair dry rot without replacing the entire siding. That's good because this siding piece is $65 per piece, and I've got a couple more patches I've got to do. So I'm going to be able to do it all with that one piece, rather than if I had replaced the entire section here, I would have had to buy 2 or 3 of those at least just to do a couple spots. So overall, I'm fairly pleased. It blends in fairly well. Obviously it's going to be painted, but you can see the crevices all line up here. Everything lines up. I'm not going to paint this for a couple more weeks because I got a couple more spots to do, and I got to kind of just fit it into my schedule. But this is a 60-plus-year-old house, so you're going to have some issues with dry rot. But this is fairly, well, I'm fairly pleased with this because you can see it blends in fairly well, and I didn't have to replace the entire section. So make sure you hit the like button if you like this, and subscribe to my channel.